Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it is November 29th of 2022. It's 4:19 a.m. in the morning. I've made some changes. Let's see. I bought a new camera, had it delivered, ordered it in the morning, from Amazon, and had it in the afternoon. I like that service, unfortunately. I'm a liberal, so I'm not crazy about big business, big oil companies, big pharmaceutical corporations that are charging massive amounts of money for medication and that do everything with the money that they make to bribe, members of Congress. That's what they don't. That's what members of Congress don't call it bribing, but that's what it is. Anyway, I got this new camera, and I really like it. I'll go there in a second and show it to you. If you watched yesterday, I think you saw it. It has a nice big screen on it. Its software is sort of hidden from me in here someplace, so I haven't been really adjusting the software. But I'm also, and then when I purchased it, I didn't think I would be doing that. When it came yesterday, I think it was, they talked about, and some of the reviewers talked about too, the fact that it not many reviewers, on YouTube, because none of us really were convinced that no USB webcam is, going to provide, good audio, for that's the logo for what is it? Razer, Razer. Anyway, they talked about, and I think it's not bad. Maybe we'll find out. But I think the audio is not bad. So my webcam is also right now the microphone. Like I said, I really haven't been able to get into, because one thing I did, I installed a whole bunch, because they had it listed, a whole bunch of their software things. Well, a whole bunch of them are for things like, I did finally delete that one. The previous model of this, there was a ring, small ring video around it, not hanging outside of it, right around the, that was one of the software items, or that was in the software. Well, this new one doesn't have that, and so that was one I installed. What I also just did, I just got done, and I just decided to do it. I went to the settings in there, and I just went down the list, and I deleted a whole bunch of Windows, Microsoft software that's in Windows 11, and I'm sure in Windows 10 also. Now I'm sitting here a little bit afraid. Oh God, what am I going to click on? It's going to crash or something. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm a little bit worried about that. But on the other hand, I just wanted to clean a whole bunch of stuff out of there, things that I knew I positively would never use, but are also things that I'm thinking about, well, is some other program going to go to that and to install, to use something or whatever, and is it going to be a problem? I don't think it will be. So let's see, if you're watching, let me do a few clicks here. If you're, by the way, please use that Amazon link above, because if you do, when you go to Amazon and then you're there, if you click and buy something, I will get a small commission. Now I sidetracked my oh, that's what I was going to say. Just before this, I was using 2 cameras, and I decided just to go with this camera. I put the other one over here on my Chrome box that I just hooked back up. This area was clear, but I just hooked the Chrome box back up, and that's where the Avery media. I don't think you can see it. Let's see if we can switch around here. That goes further, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. There you can see the Avery media, which is a little bit crooked. There we go. That's kind of hard, especially left-handed, to adjust that one. I do like the video that I'm getting from this camera. Before I started this video, I went over and turned off. I have a light on a light stand up with one of those umbrellas, and it's pointing up at the ceiling, and that's it. And there's just a lamp. Well, you can see it in here. There it is. Oops. There it is, right there in the background. Just a normal light, and I'm very happy with the. I'm always kind of embarrassed when people see toilet paper. I'm not out here wiping my ass, but I do use it. My nose runs sometimes. It is terrible to get old. I worked all my life, and I was never without a job, and quite often for years I worked full-time hospital, I worked hospital security for 30 years, and for a lot of those years I worked part-time second job security, but for a contract company which didn't pay much money. But one year we saved all the only trip we've ever made. Well, I'm not married now, and my kids are grown, but I guess I should say our kids are grown. But for one year I saved all the money that I made for working 2 days a week, usually Saturday and Sunday 12-hour shifts, for Pinkerton, a contract guard agency. We saved all the money, and we used that to drive from Missouri, and that was with 2 kids, and Darlene was pregnant. We drove down to Mexico, I think El Paso, and then we went over, I think, and then we got a permit, because if you can just cross over. Well, I'm not sure what things might have changed. You can just cross over, and it's no big deal to go right across the border and spend, if you're white. I'm kidding about that. I'm not kidding, I guess. Anyway, we went across and then drove to, I can't remember the things. Anyway, we drove to, and then we spent the night in, oh man, it just was in my brain, up in the mountains of Mexico, where a lot of U.S. Cowboy movies and things were made. Durango, is that it? I think so. And then we drove down to Mazatlan, which was beautiful, but we didn't stay there very long, and then we exited out of Mexico, and all 4 of us were kind of funny. When we exit out in Nogales, and because we entered through, from El Paso, we crossed over to, can't remember now. but it was on the first of the month, so they put a sticker on our car, which which they made it clear, aren't you going to? And I gave them, which who cares, But there was a date on it, the first day of the month. I mean, that's the way I guess it worked or something. And so when we exited, the Mexican, no problem with the Mexican, we were exiting. And but the U.S., you entered through El Paso, and then you're exiting through here, and it's been 4 days or whatever it was, 3 or 4 days or something. And they thought we did something. It was suspicious to them. I guess that's one of the things, And then too, the Border Patrol there, he said, "Do you have anything to declare?" And I said, "No, nothing to declare." "You don't have anything to declare?" "No, nothing to declare." And then it was like, "Well, what's that in your back, your back window?" And I said, "That's it, doll I got from, my daughter, and there was something else there." I mean, nothing. But you know what I did buy, and then I gave it away later, and that was in the trunk, and they didn't open the trunk, but I bought a nice chest marble chest set, and then that was the only thing I had. But anyway, I said to him, "Well, I thought it was if you have over $150 or whatever." And then I don't know where you got that idea that it was over it. And when I say if you have anything to declare, I mean, do you have anything to declare? And I said, "Just those items." And so then he was, and then I said, "Officer, we all need to go to the restroom, and we need to go right away. Is there one here we can use right here?" And he said, "Go ahead and just go." So we crossed over. And then when we got into Arizona or New Mexico, I forget which, whatever's right there next to Nogales. By the way, I was, careful all the way through going through, Mexico to, not do anything wrong. And then somebody had told, I read about it, I think, before I went across, and it said that the police over there take your license plate off your vehicle, and you better have that, license that if you try to exit, if you don't notice it, and then you try to exit Mexico, you are going to be in deep shit. So I was every time we put. The reason I think we got sick was, well, we ate in some nice places, and bottled water and that kind of stuff. But when we were traveling, we came to a place, away, rural, not in a big city or anything, and they were selling watermelons, so we bought, I think, 2 of them, and we ate that, watermelon, and it was delicious. And then we didn't travel a long ways, but we came to a small community, and there was a gas station there or something like that, and we stopped, and there was a whole bunch of little Mexican kids out and everything, and then they came over to the car, and they were like, watermelon. I don't think they said anything, but it was like, and apparently, they were like, watermelon, and it was just, but I guess because of the situation and the vehicles and whatever, so we gave them a watermelon, an uncut watermelon. And they went over there, and they were under a tree or something while we were doing whatever we were doing, getting gas or whatever, and they were just so happy. But I think that's what did us in, was that watermelon. But anyway, when we crossed over into the United States of America, this is before, this didn't have anything to do with racism or xenophobia or whatever. But at that time, my wife and I, and 2 kids and 1 on the way, we said, you know, we don't want to go. We don't ever want to leave, you know. We're happy here. We went to a Taco Bell or, you know, we stayed there in New Mexico or Nevada, wherever it was, for a couple of days in the, you know, a nice hotel, and we decided, you know, we're just but Mazatlan was really nice. Now my ex-wife thought that, or well, she was my wife then. She thought that she spoke a little bit of Spanish. She didn't have any, you know, and I thought I knew a few words too. Well, like Mazatlan or whatever. I guess it's not the way you say that, because before we got to Mazatlan, well, I think that's like when we kind of stopped and got watermelon or at the gas station or something like that, you know. We're heading from, you know, Mazatlan. That was like the next major, you know, city in Mexico or something. And they just looked at us like, you know. But everybody was really nice. The one thing is, what was it they put on it? Anyway, we ordered something. Man, it was hot. And then we saw a place that was a Pizza Hut or something like that. We went in and ordered, you know, we got a pizza, you know, to go. And it had the same thing on it. Then we saw a place that was Hamburguista Americana or something like that. Okay, same thing on it. But anyway, that was our trip to Mexico. And why am I telling you that? I have no idea. Anyway, I was going to, I thought about, I think I told you that though. I did have, you know, I hooked up this camera, so I had 2 cameras. I'm not sure if I made a video with that or not, but I took so I've got 1 camera. It's the microphone. And I moved it a little bit before making this video, you know, from here to there, and then you know, but I think this one is doing really well. So I removed the other, you know, places so that it shows, so that's the only camera, so I'm not going to be, in fact, I think that I removed the, no, well, okay, I did, yeah, okay, no, I didn't remove it, I left it, the little one. I was thinking about leaving the other camera and having it be in that position or something or other. But I think there should be I think I ought to be looking like, I think this thing should be like I'd be looking at in a way, the page. So I think that's it. Please, by the way, I'm not, a lot of people on YouTube are constantly saying subscribe, and I haven't done that very much. But maybe it'd be a time to do that. Let me go over here and go to Amazon. And go to, What do I want to go to? Orders. And here it is. This is the camera. I do like the looks. I like the feel of it. I like the looks of it. The regular price is like $200 for this, and when it came out, this is. I have. That's not. But I have a whole bunch of USB cameras. I like everything about the looks, but I haven't gotten into the. I think you can kind of tell even by these, well, maybe not. Anyway, that's so they haven't deposited my on the return computer that the guy came. Well, it was actually yesterday. I put a note on the door, UPS, you know, to please give me time to get to the door, and the guy did. And you know, we don't have a car or whatever. I think though, actually, he left a slip of paper. I've used them before. I thought that, you know, they came with the shipping thing, so you don't put they're picking it up and they're taking it for you. You just have it boxed up, and then they come and slap the shipping label on it themselves. And I thought that I'd forgotten, because I don't return stuff very often. It probably sounds like I do, but I don't. I just returned, you know, a refurbished computer that I just got from them. But I thought that they only came once to your door, and then after that, they left the you know, if it wasn't available, they left the shipping label, and then it was up to you to take it to one of their. They have them close to, though, of course, you know, these places. But we have no car, and so I was very concerned to make sure that anyway, the guy came. He knocked loud, which I appreciate, and took it. And a lot of times in the past, when I've returned something, it was like amazing. I think I mentioned this before, that that the money, you know, the deposit, or the money was deposited when I returned something. One time, I swear, I find it hard to believe myself now. The guy came. It wasn't something big or, you know, anything I don't believe. And the guy came. He left, and I think before his shift was over or whatever, the money went into my bank. And then I do know one time, the guy came and picked up the item. That was the same thing, and I made him with the box. And about 11 p.m., you know, so I'm guessing you know, UPS probably came 3 o'clock in the afternoon or something. At about 11 p.m., the money went into my bank. I'm poor, by the way. Maybe you haven't been able to tell. You probably look at this at my palatial estate. I don't even know how to say that. At my what would be an expensive name, you know. Anyway, you probably think I'm rich, but no. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to the money getting in there. I've got my prescription problem taken care of, so I have 2 prescriptions. I still haven't taken any, 2 of my medicines I haven't taken. Well, one I know for sure I haven't taken for a month, and the other I think it may be 2 weeks that I haven't taken, you know, because I don't have it, but it's now available at the pharmacy, so my son's going to walk down there tomorrow and it's only 2 blocks away, which is, it's more than 2 blocks to me. So I do, like I said, I haven't bugged you people very much about subscribing, but please subscribe. By the way, my let's see, go here, let's see this, and okay, go here, okay, now we can go here. Now I don't pay for social. I did for a very limited time. I did pay, I think, for the, but I don't pay. This is the free version, and it shows you that I make between $2 and $27 a month, and that is that's correct. That's about what it is. I'm not sure how dependable that is for other people when they give that. Of course, other people also make other money. YouTubers make other money by pushing a product, and other ways. But I haven't even made. Maybe I did. Maybe last month. Maybe I made $11 from. I think. But anyway, I've had a whole bunch of months here where I haven't made anything. I think you have to make $10 before Amazon, deposits in your account. The number of it's not subscribers. Anyway, that is, the statistics for subscribers. Or is it members? Anyway, for a few months it was never been big. I mean, because I have 3,500 subscribers. That must be at subscribers. And it's just been basically sort of sitting there. But the number of subscribers has gone up quite a bit the last couple of months. So maybe I'm doing something right, or you people are being generous to an old man, maybe, or something. Not that subscribers, well, a YouTuber makes money from the views, people watching, of having an advertisement on there, and then, a person watching it. It doesn't, you could have, of course, the more subscribers you have, the more people can be watching it and that type of stuff, but it's the number of views, because advertisements are put in there and stuff, Now, I'm not sure. Here's something that, it looks kind of odd. It's the days of the week and the number of subscribers. And on one day, Thursday, I got 10 subscribers, but there's none on the other days. So I got a feeling maybe the computer system, kicks it out at a certain point or something like that. Okay. So anyway, I would appreciate it if you did, if you're not a subscriber, I'd appreciate it if you did. Um, you know, I can disable the audio from there. I might have a problem for a little bit until I get it figured out exactly. Because I have some problems with that kind of stuff, it seems like. That's why it would have been nice to get that new, well, the refurbished computer. I think that would have solved a whole bunch of my problems, because I spent a bunch of time with make an improvement or do something, and then it affects something, you know, something else. So what else is going on? My daughter Hillary, she loves all kinds of animals, and she loves cats, and she has a bunch of cats, and some of them are getting really old. And one, you know, she has to, I think she gives it is it a shot every day, or can't remember. And then one, I can't remember which one it was, or is. One, she was not doing well, and one of the older cats, and of course I told her, you know, hey, you know, let the cat go or whatever. Anyway, she took it to the vet. The vet said, you know, and she said, no, you know, I'll pay anything. She doesn't have any, you know. She makes pretty good money, but she spends it, you know, pretty well too. So, you know, and she brought the cat home, you know, and she's taking care of it, and it's doing okay, which I thought it was a goner. And then, and maybe I'm getting switched in the order. Anyway, then she had a cat, has a cat. One of them just passed away. But they, it was we didn't see it. She was telling us by a telephone or whatever. I mean, the cat was, you know, I said, you know, well, to my ex-wife, not to Hillary, I didn't say it. I said, that is actually cruel. I mean, let the cat, I mean, the cat was going, you know, the heart stopped. I don't know. I mean, you know, it was like, wasn't breathing well and all this kind of stuff. And Hillary said, save it, you know. And then they checked it, you know, more carefully, and they said, you know, it has heart failure, and you know, we don't recommend it or whatever, but you know, we could do heart surgery on it. She says, I'll pay anything, save my cat. And you know, she had to go into her credit card. She gave him $2,500. You know, here's $2,500. Do what, and I'll pay you no matter what. Okay, I'm not sure if that's. I'm not sure which of these two passed or died. I mean, she was devastated. Anyway, she for the first time, she kind of lives out in the country. Well, it's a small town, you know, outside of Fort Worth here. She's got some property, and has quite a bit of wildlife out there. And so she didn't want to bury it. She was afraid it would get, you know, dug up by some animal or something. So I'm not sure if she went through the you know, the veterinarian or how she did it, but she had the thing. Well, she thought she had the thing, buried in a pet cemetery with, you know, with a marker and the whole bit. And she just got a call, I think it was yesterday, calling her to let her know that she needed to come and pick up the remains of the cat. She wanted it buried, and she had a marker and the whole thing. They made a mistake, and I don't know whether it was the veterinarians, you know, doing this, or if it was a company they deal with or whatever. But they cremated the cat, so they want her to come and get the ashes. So she called, was talking to her mother, my ex-wife, and, you know, and crying. And she said, what am I going to do with ashes, you know, and whatever. And Darlene said, well, spread them, you know, out at your place there. And then Hillary's, you know, that's a good idea. So that's what's happened or is going to be happening. What else? Must be something else. I guess not. I'm going to stop here. I got my fingers crossed. You might let me know what you think of. I made a video or two previously. Well, I guess probably with this was maybe only one or whatever, and the audio sounded okay to me. Not as good as, you know, a couple of videos before that I made, you know, with the headset. But it sounds good to me. And I never thought I'd say that about a USB webcam, that the audio would be okay. But maybe it won't be as good being up here, because before I had it on here, and so maybe you might let me know what you think. Maybe I would need to move it off of there and put it on there. But I do sort of like the the video, because I can, of course, I know what they are, so that makes it easier. I can, you know, see what's back there. A mug, you know, a mug. Well, it's not turned where you can see it, but I can see that stuff, and everything's really sharp. It seemed like I remembered that I wanted to mention something about this. Something I put up there. Can't remember now. Anyway, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Do me a favor. And thank you very much for watching.